Hey guys, how's it going? Saturday night here, 9 p.m. ish. I'm gonna record this in a few little snips and merge them as opposed to cutting it afterwards. I'm just recording this bit because we just had another drop. Gonna go see what's in it. I'm not recording most of what I'm doing today as just menial stuff. Alright, alright. Not half bad, not great. Just kind of getting ready for tonight, given it's Horde night. I won't actually be participating in the Horde. I plan to go underground and record for most of the night since we haven't done that yet. I think, mix it up a bit. Night trade. Let's see how that goes. I've also got a bit more to talk about what I've been doing this weekend so far, which may interest some of you outdoorsy types. I have no idea why there's a stripper out here. Come get some. Alright, or don't. Don't have time to deal with that. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys in a bit. I swear this sounds like a screamer. Grade 14. Little clay mine. You guys heard that too? What I want to deal with right now. Sneak away. Nice and safe. Turn off this forge. Turn that off as well. Can't tell if it's a screamer. I don't want to deal with it. We'll come back to that later. Changed my mind. Making me really anxious. Directional audio is not helping me though. As I think I may have mentioned before, the game spawns a screamer when your heat gets to 100. That's a heat generated just by activity. It's not actual heat from anything that's burning. It can be doing anything, and it looks like I just tipped over the scale. It's also cumulative, so builds up and it dies down. Bleeds into other areas as well. On a forward night coming. Well, I can't see her. But I might as well get to the work that I'm going to be doing. I'm just gonna dump these in here for now. I went and did a little bit of mining just out there, picked up some more resources. I really need some stone and wood for the sake of arrows. I moved my food over here, knocked up some more boiled eggs and bacon eggs and whatnot. Punched one more into my Sex Rex since I can. Is she under here? Really seem like she is. Yeah, like that. then the idea is I'm going to spend nighttime down here. I'm not going to deal with the horde. I'm not prepared from a weapons standpoint, so I've been focusing more on resources. But down here, we're going to get a lot more resources as well, and I can start making a fast track back towards the town. So, oh man, for now, I'm going to keep recording. Just when interesting stuff happens, I'll turn on the instant replay feature that's built into this software, just so it kind of keeps 15 seconds trailing, and that way if something good happens, I don't miss it. Hopefully I'll hit level 15 as well, can maybe up my tools, or it's required 20. Alright, they're a little while away. We'll see what happens though, and till then, let's hope they don't just come pummeling down that hole. That would be fucking terrible. So I just had a look back on the other videos and I figured something out. I'm at +8 elevation now. It's +20 something around where I am. On me. Bedrock's around the -50 mark, I think. But you may recall when I had a look over at town, it's at -16, and I really do want to be quite far under that. I think you need about 30 blocks at least before, zombies don't spawn around. Can't check that out. I can't remember what the thing was. It might even be 50. But that means I'm going to have to go right down here. So I'm still at +8. That means I've got 60 odd blocks to go down. Trying to make the best use of my stamina here as well. Let it recharge and record a little bit. And I'm leveling pretty quickly as well. As you can see, it's only been a few minutes since the last snip of recording. So we'll keep going and we'll see just, I guess, how far we get tonight. I'm hoping to hit some sand. And if I do hit some sand, then we might have to have a dig around and see what that what vein of ore is going to be around there. And I just realized that I really should have grabbed those 2 beers, so I just really quickly nerd poled right before 2200 hours back to the top, grabbed those beers and just bolted back down. Oops, that was retarded. And now it's time. I don't know if I'm deep enough yet that this will or won't be a problem, so I guess, from down here I'm not going to even hear it, I don't think. So we're going to just have to keep chipping away. I'm actually going to put one above me. I'll put a couple above me as I go down, and that's just going to give me a moment to prepare when they fall on me. I'm not going to reinforce them. I can still see through them like this. It'll distract them for a tick. It'll slow them down. But it may be that bit that I need. Now, I did, I pumped my miner 69er one more. So that's about as far as I can get for now until my mining skills is 20, which won't be too far off. I want to boost my sex rates and another level. So I've got another 10 points to spend. So just waiting that one out now, but it shouldn't be too long. Just watching my FPS at the moment, because I'm getting some weird lag. It seems a bit like the game's struggling with the hordes. Stage 25, one person. 4 ferals of game stage 16 at 22. And then nothing more. But you might see it when I crack this. Yeah, that odd little bit of lag there. So I'll turn on my FPS, which you can do with F8 as well, just to keep an eye on it. See, my FPS isn't dropping. It's calculation. I might have to check some background tasks. I've got a lot of Chrome tabs open. That could be killing CPU a bit, and this game does need some CPU. So we'll have a look at that and report back. I've got my task manager open on the other screen. I'm just watching. Oh, jeez. But yeah, let's get into the beer. There's nothing really much going on. I mean, 7 days is sitting there taking 18 or 19%, 20%, and that's out of a total of 23 or so being used, 24 being used, and it's not spiking when that happens. Now in the console, you can hit F1 to see this. It's not spawning anymore, so they're up there probably destroying all my shit. And I think what it does is throughout Horde Night, there is always the same amount spawned. It looks like it only spawned 4 for some reason. I'm not too sure why, because the default is 8, but there could have already been 4 nearby. So there was the Screamer that was spawned. Yeah, but just hit F1 if you want to have a look. You can also see in there the wellness change. That was when I had an egg. Eggs don't do much. I think Goldenrod does a bit more. But this beer, that's going to make a hell of a difference for me. But right now, not much is going on. I'm literally sitting here staring at this. So not only are we doing our first nighttime, I think let's just let's get our buzz back on. Let a little bit of stem come back. Actually, we're minus 31, so we only got 20 blocks to go. I'm gonna hit the ground before night's over, I reckon. Buzz back on. So I reckon this will also be our first montage. And for the sake of finger strain, I'm gonna do the old keyboard on the mouse trick. Just sit back and enjoy my beer. And we just hit our first bit of ore. Bit of iron there. It's not bad. We're doing a decent supply. See if we can get through this sand, which will also be valuable. I'll need that for making my cement, so really cannot get enough of it. Also builds up your mining skills. There we are, back in another bit of ore. Builds up your mining skills, which I really can't complain about. It's just all round invaluable. See how deep this goes. If I hit another patch of sand, this is some solid ore. And back to the rock, it seems. Now that means back to some montage. And I think my tool's broken. Let's see. Yep, I was in a different part of the house, just doing miscellaneous house stuff, because really sitting here, just doing this wasn't doing it for me. There we go. And there was my level 15. So you see mining is pretty effective for leveling, and I think I'm about to bottom out on Bedrock. So close. Nearly 4 AM. There we go. Minus 57. We've hit the bottom. Let's add that little bit more of safety. Now, I'm going to start heading in a westerly direction. Which means I'll actually be going back under the house. I'm kind of in the middle. So that should be alright. So in this game, the holes are diagonal, and that's to do with how they merge blocks together. You get used to it. It is a little bit janky at first. You also only have to mine too high. If you duck, you can't stand back up, but whilst you're ducked, it's fine. Let's just crack this next spear. Up and down also gets very difficult to tell down here. You kind of lose a lot of perspective without the light. With the light, there's no bump mapping or anything like that. Let's just see. Okay, so it's 0.32. So X.2 is the drink. So yeah, I can't see anything else that went on in the world. That's good to know. So yeah, today I started actually smithing in real life. I decided to melt down some lead. I knocked up a basic forge, I guess, using a camp stove, and melted down some scrap lead sinks I had lying around that weren't too good. There's a fair bit of slag that I pulled off the top, which was mostly oxidization, a bit of dirt, it seems. Um, and then I got some steel and I kind of drilled out and shaped the steel with a Dremel a bit, and started just forging some small tool parts. So it was hot and sweaty work. It was actually pretty satisfying. Though I think what I really need is better forge and some bigger bits of steel, and then I can start making some better stuff. And I think for that, I'm also going to need to get a drill press because it was incredibly hard drilling. There we go, 4 a.m. We did it. It was incredibly hard drilling straight without a drill press. I did it as best I could, but it really was not fantastic. So drill press, build an improved forge, and probably get some plates of steel. Hopefully a couple of mil thick. I might have to drop round old mate's place, see what he's got. He's got a pretty big workshop with a lot of stuff in it. So I think I want to go probably for 3 mil plate, maybe. I think that's going to be easiest to work with. 2 mil's a little bit thin. 4 mil's a little bit thick. So 3 mil seems good. And if we can get some, I don't know, maybe 30 by 10, 30 by 20 sheets, that'll do the trick. And then we can start having some fun with the lead. I've also got some old car batteries, and I'm going to start scrapping the lead from those. I think what I'll have to do is go by IKEA and get a decent sized jar to put the sulfuric acid in. I could just chuck in some bicarb and neutralize it, but sulfuric acid can actually be really handy, especially if you're looking at recovering minerals. So, if I want to recover some gold, I probably will at one stage. That'd be quite interesting. I can use the sulfuric acid to break it down and dissolve it, and then I can extract it back out of the liquid after it's settled. So, yeah, definitely worth keeping. It is very, very dangerous to handle, though, so I'm going to have to get some good glass jars. Hopefully, glass jars that have a coating on the outside of plastic. Then I'm going to have to wait for this done. What I can actually do is get my next Sex Rex now. There we go. Coating of plastic on the outside just makes it that little bit less likely to shatter, and means if it cracks, it's not going to leak. You can use, what's that plastic? HDPE plastics, but I believe they're only for short-term use. They're not really a sustainable way to store it. It can leak. It can slowly eat through it or seep through it. And yeah, it's just bad stuff. So I'll figure out what to do with that. And I think I've got 3 car batteries to scrap to start with. 2 big ones, 2 big, 600, 700, 800 CCA batteries. And after those, I've got just a normal, I think 350, 400 car size battery, not out of a full drive. And then I've got a pile of little SLAs, I think from UPS's alarm systems, that sort of stuff. So they're only kind of 7 to 9 amp hour, but again, they're still heavy, so they're full of lead, and there is so much cool stuff that you can make out of lead, not just projectiles. Although I'm tempted to. I'm gonna have to look into the local laws around projectiles, because I could also knock up some potassium nitrate and refine some charcoal that I've got in the forge and make some black powder. So So I've got to see what the laws and the local laws are around, black powder and that sort of stuff. Only time will tell. So for now, I'm going to keep going for a little bit. I want to get just past, I guess just past this road. That's going to be my first goal. Should only take a little bit longer. It's just going to be hard slogging for a while with the stamina. But I am getting my levels up, and I'm getting my mining up pretty quickly. One more, and I can get another minus 69er, which will be good. I do need 8 more points for it, so I'm also going to have to level again. By the looks of it, this mining might actually do the leveling for me. So let's see. I'll cut for now. This episode is going to be more cut than a Jewish priest. The Jews have priests. I'm not anti-Semitic at all. I just don't know enough about their religion and their ways. I do know that they've got a thing for circumcision, which I don't understand. I don't like anything sharp going down there. No, thank you. I think most modern men would agree. I do definitely see the medical value in it in certain circumstances, but Jesus, just keep anything sharp away from my junk, please. So we'll cut this safe in game away from my nether region and come back to it soon. Alright, it looks like we've just hit some more sand, so this is also going to be worth exploring. This means there's another vein of something here. What I might actually do is mine through it, so I've got that straight continuous tunnel. Looks like it's going to be coal. Oh no, that was weird. I was getting straight nitrate out of that. There was that dark all around me. See, there's definitely some sand there. This is potassium nitrate. That would be quite good to have a local resource. It's not particularly common, especially in this forest biome. But you do get it. You get, all sorts of ore. Out here, I'm just a lot more likely to get iron, maybe some lead. Potassium nitrate, you get more in I think it's the desert biome, I think, and then coal in the burnt biome. You get everything everywhere anyway. If you dig long enough, you're going to find it. It's just about getting the primary for that area. I really do wish I had more beer as well, but that's not happening. But just chipping away. Now I do have my 20. I'm just waiting for my grade 16 so that I can pump some more minus 69. My stem usage is really, really good at the moment. This is helping heaps. I mean, keep doing it. Look at that. Plus 40 block damage, minus 30 stem degradation, plus 10 harvest count. Now, considering, I guess, the resources that you get out of the ground are so very variable. Lead for your bullets and your buckshot, iron for a lot of your crafting, digging up clay, sand, even just stone for, geez, you make heaps of stuff out of stone. I think mining's really, really underappreciated by a lot of the YouTubers that play this game. Whereas I like to focus on it quite heavily, and I guess I got that so close. Got that from my brother. Nexus loves mining. He loves digging holes, and that's in real life as well. Some of the holes he's dug are incredible. And where are we at? We're planning to go camping again this weekend. And I don't doubt he's going to dig some holes. We've started looking for a decent clay resource out in the spot that we go to. Hour or two inland, it's, not a bad spot at all. The only concern I've got is, being Australia, there's a lot of limestone under us. We're basically on a giant rock. And what that means is that you may get some very, very silty material that packs quite hard. It can even be around shale sort of areas. But it's not clay. What you'll find, because of the lime that's in it, if you dry it and you shape it, you don't even have to shape it. If you just dry it and fire it, it will then be soluble in water again. I have read about some ways around that, because the mineral consistency is really, really good, and I think you can grind up burnt like snail shells, that sort of stuff, and then you mix in the burnt snail shells with it, and that kind of cements it together. But it's not really ideal. It's extra work. What we want is a good clay resource, and considering we're out alongside a river, I'd assume there is going to be some. We just might have to do some more digging. So Nexus in the full will be out there with me. We'll probably be having having a good crack at that with us. That looks to me like lead and coal. See that? This game does some funny stuff like that sometimes. I don't fully understand it. I think though, even if we hit that road where hit the ground instead, we're gonna keep going until we get that grade 16. That'll allow us to pump a bit more, simply for the sake of, what was I talking about? Yeah, getting my minus 69. So get my grade 16, get my minus 69. Then I've really got to save my points from level 17, 18, 19, 20 for the tool and metal smithing, because by that point I'll imagine that I've got a forge and the next one's cost 6 points each. I mean, workbench I've already got, but then I can get into steel smithing, which means, geez, yeah, that's expensive. Steel smithing is going to be the next thing. That's really going to take some, some heavy point action, some hot point action going in there. I think that's a Slippy thing. Is it Slippy that calls it hot action? I'm guessing there's a lot of people. It's not just a Slipgator thing. But I swear I've heard him say it a lot more than other YouTubers. I mean, it's so very, very close. If this stamina was not such an issue, which is, I guess, what we're trying to resolve as well. So, back on the topic of, oh, nope. Back on the topic of, what I'm doing in the garage, if you've got any ideas of how I could store the sulfuric acid, or what I could smith out of these things, I probably need to get a decent crucible too. That would go with the forge, and I can look at induction forges. I could fire forge myself, or I could, so close. Or I could go for the, the typical electric forge. I'm not 100% sure which route I want to go down yet. I did realize though that this weapon I've got in my workbench, I can combine with the other 270 or whatever I've got. So I can make up to level 250 at the moment. Pardon me, up to level 150. But you can combine up to 100 points higher than that. So that means I can combine up to a 250. Now, when you combine two things, it adds 10% of the secondary item onto the first, assuming they're both at maximum health. So if this is 133 still when I get back up there, the other one's 270. What I probably want to do is make a fresh 150, add this onto it, which will add 13, knocking it up to 163. After that, I add the 270, which will add another 27-ish. And that'll knock it up from whatever I said, by some more points. And that'll give me a lot better outcome. I can just also craft a couple of these, but I'm being conservative with my forged iron for now. So let's keep chipping away for a minute. I've made some ladders ready to escape, so we'll get that level 16, and then we'll head back up to home and probably go back and get some looting done. So I ran into a bit of a problem. I didn't have enough wood to get all the way back out again. So what I'm doing now is I have plenty of stone, so I'm going to have to nerd pole out with the stone. That's about, it's doing that weird lag. And stuck in the world apparently. Alright, that was really scary. Alright, gonna have to start being really careful. I just don't get you know, evicted from the world. That lag is probably what's doing it. You can see I'm kind of getting up back down in the stone. Right. That is doing the trick though. I'm at -4, so I need another 30 roughly. That was a dumbass mistake, wasn't it? That annoyed me a lot more than I thought it would. So let's see if we can just node pole all the way to the top on this stuff that I'm then gonna have to dig through again. I also started falling. I accidentally jumped off the ladder when I was trying to. I'm so scared of that. You can see my mine at least though. That's pretty cool. Oh, Jesus. Right on edge. Really? So let's maybe face different direction. Right, that is just not working right now. Something's bugging out really badly and it's really stressing me out. Let's frame it for a little bit. Alright, there's a frame. Let's just see how quickly we can do this. Yeah, so anyway, I was falling off the ladder because I jumped like an idiot. But I have that far to fall in this hole that, oh, nearly there. We can frame the rest of the way. That I realized you can really. Oh, this is bothering me so much. I'm right clicking repeatedly. I've nearly lost an entire day because of this. Anyway, I just jumped again. I was falling and I hit jump again. Thank you, Jesus. And it did the trick. Oh wow, yeah, they really punched a hole in here. Damn, I don't even know what killed them. That's really a problem. Like, really, really a problem. Oh, hey, you still left over from last night. I have to do something about this ASAP because that's not something we can have going on around here. That is incredible, though. That is a death metal stance. Let's make that a screenshot. Boom. I don't know what I can fill that with. That's going to be quite a problem. That was. There we go. That was some reinforced stuff right there. So, I have to add something reinforced. And clearly, I wasn't down far enough that they didn't know that there was a way to get me. Maybe because that hatch is classed as a door. So if I actually replace it with a, with something that's not a door, with a frame, and then pack it in, they wouldn't see it as a path. Interestingly, they didn't seem to attack that one. They didn't attack the door itself. Well, I've got my work cut out for me. I'm going to call that a wrap for now, guys. I'm going to work on getting close to these things that I need and repairing some of the damage. I guess I'm going to have to go up to iron reinforced with that iron that I've got. Can't really do much else at this point. And then get back down in the hole and sort out my issues down there. Now, I did realize, and you're probably thinking it, I leveled up, but yeah, I only got 6 points, so I still cannot get my minus 69er. I think for that, I will probably just end up mining a bit more, but that won't be a right now thing. That'll be an off-camera thing, and that'll be when I've got less of a mission on my hands. Right now, there's a fair few things that need to be done, and really workbench is the way to go. I was talking about it before, like I'm just so used to having one. So let's just be safe with 100 of these, and then yeah, I don't trust that's enough. I'm gonna go harvest some trees and sort out those other diddly doos that need to get done, and we'll catch you on the next episode, guys. Take it easy.